Hello guys, what's up? Today we are going to be talking about Buildozer. Buildozer, it's something you use to build Kivy applications or Kivy Flask applications into mobile APKs or mobile IPA if you're using iPhone. But here we are talking about Android alone, we're not talking about iPhones. Now let's jump right in and see how things work. Okay, first of all, I'm going to exit this presentation mode. Let me see if I can open terminal from here. Open in terminal. Let's see. Okay, since we can open terminal from here, good. If you have PyCharm, I'm in presentation mode now. If you have PyCharm, you know where terminal is, right? So first of all, you have to do something like this: sudo py no Python 3.7 or whatever Python version you're using, -m pipe install Buildozer. Though I already have Buildozer right now, so I'm not going to press the enter key button. And yeah, after installation, there is nothing else you need to do. Let's jump right in and just do something like this. Buildozer. First of all, I'm going to say ls here to show that we only have main.py here. If you have your PyCharm, you see the project by the side. So here we only have main.py, but when we say Buildozer, Buildozer init, right? It's going to create a file called Buildozer.spec. When you say ls, you see that Buildozer.spec. Now we're going to open this file and edit it, right? Let's say go to navigation bar. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this guy, Buildozer.spec. Now this is how Buildozer.spec file looks. This is what you will edit. Let me minimize this guy. This is what you will edit to make your APK work. First of all, let's start from top to bottom to explain all this shit. But not everything that I'm going to explain. I'm going to be skipping some if it's still not important. Okay, first here you say title equals my application. Here you name the application name, the name that will appear with the icon on the device. So here I'm calling this text APK, right? Now here you're going to name package name is just the same thing as the title, but give it a small letter, right? Org.test. You can choose anything you like. You can also put something like com, ru, anything. Just make sure that it is separated with this dot, right? I'm going to leave it by default org.test. Just don't bother yourself about what is this shit. This is the way Android understands your code. This is the way Android structures your directories. If you have done Android Studio before, if you have written code in Java, you would understand. But if you have not, don't worry, I'll make it as simple as possible for you to understand. They will still visit Android Studio to see how these things work. Okay, now we have source.die. Source.die is the source directory. Where does your main.py live? So source code where main.py lives is the current directory. When you put a dot, it shows that it exists in this directory, in this current. What's our folder name here? Let's say open in terminal. So PyCharm Kivy Beginner tutorial. So home can go PyCharm Kivy. This is the current directory. When I press ls, Buildozer.spec domain.py. So just leave that dot there the way it is. If it is the same place where your main.py lives. But if it is not, if your main.py lives somewhere else, give the absolute part. Don't give a relative part because it will look for it in the same folder. Give an absolute part. Alright. So here is where you include the whole extensions you used in your file. The whole extensions you want to export to your APK. Like you wrote a Python program, right? We are currently using Python program. You'll leave py. It ends with py. If you are using an image PNG, you give it there. If you chose JPG, You give it there. Kv, Atlas. Best still is to leave all this shit the same. All right, just leave everything the same and go ahead and put the whole extensions you used in your code. If you use a JSON file, you come here and say JSON. If you use a TXT, you say TXT. Now this all together is just how would I put it? It's just the extension files of all the whole code that you wrote and the whole files that you included in your source code. It's simple, right? Now let's just clear these things out, though I'm not needing it. Now if you kind of like have JPEG, you include it here. If you have something like this capital JPG, please do include it the way it is, else Kivy will throw an error for you telling you this file does not exist because it does not recognize the extension. You didn't tell it to recognize this extension. You need to give the whole extension you used in your code except the main.spec. Don't give spec, automatically to remove everything that is spec. Spec is your buildozer, right? Let me open this. ls buildozer spec, can you see that? So is this just current file? By default, Kivy is going to throw it away when compiling. All right, source of inclusion using pattern matching. Advice, I won't advise you to use this. I don't know even how that works. I won't advise you to use it. Would I? No, I wouldn't. What about this one? But in case for beginners, if you want, this is actually where, let's say you created an asset folder where your image, your font, everything lives. Don't include them there, but it's not necessary. Now source file, you shall leave that. Source file to exclude. Here the files you want to exclude, you don't want to include in the APK. It's not necessary to, because anything that you not put here, Kivy will not include them by default. List of directory to exclude. Yeah, let's say you created a whole bunch of directories. Let's say you were working on other projects too. This thing should go away. You're working on other projects too on the same folder with your current main.py, and you don't want to include them. You give them here. So by default, I'm not changing anything here because everything is just normal. I only have main.py and Buildozer spec in my file. So here you use version. Okay, what's the current version of the application? This 0.1. Yeah, so this is where you version your application in Android Studio. And yeah, Android Studio in Google Play Store. When you go to Google Play Store, version 0.1, 0.2, 0.01, 0.001, this, that. This is where you do all those shit. So what else? Application versioning. Now, in case you don't want to version it here, you can version it in your main.py. I don't know how to do this. Though if I Google it, I'll see it. So that reminds me, most of us don't know how to Google, and you know, it's hard for them to find answers in Google. Next tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to Google. I know it sounds crazy, but it's a good thing you learn how to Google because that's the best way you can learn stuff. Okay, requirements. Now this is the most delicate and dangerous part of your application. Any stupid thing you do here will make your whole application to come down crashing. Any crazy stuff you add here can make your application to crash. So be careful with what you do here, and be careful with what you don't do here. My bad, it's not dangerous, but be careful. Your application will crash and you'll be thinking, what's wrong? Kivy lied to us, Kivy did this, Kivy did that. No, you did it to yourself. Now here, let me explain clearly. What are the requirements we have here? Now, what is the Python version that you used in writing your Kivy application? I don't know the Python version you used in writing your Kivy application though. I use Python 3, right? whether Python 3.7, 3.8, 3.9, all of them is Python 3. Now I also used Kivy. Let me go back to my file. No, go to navigation bar. Made a py. Now what did I import? Now look carefully. If you say from request, come on, stop hanging around. From request, import burst. Now when you import request, you must surely go back to this guy and put a comma and put request. You have to check everything that you import if it is not a default Python library. You know, Python comes with its own default library like threading, tkinter, time, sleep, asynchronous, sockets, I don't know. There are many of them. So if it is not a default Python 3 or Python 2 library, please just come over here and include it because it's a requirement, it's a dependency. Just like when you're installing an application or a library with pipe, when you say pipe install Buildozer, pipe install Kivy, you see it installing other requirements because Kivy depends on Pillow, Kivy depends on Pygament, Kivy depends on SDL, Kivy depends on many things. So it's that just take it as the dependencies of your application. You have to put it right here. So I'm going back to my application and I'm removing this guy. Which of the above guy? This guy. Now there is more to this request. Next video, I'm going to make a video that collects information from the web and show you how to use its request, because any single mistake you make with request, you have to review the app again and again and again and again and again, like again and again. So there's much to that request. We'll come back to that later. I don't know if there's a shortcut for this. Go to alternate home. I keep pressing. Where's my home key? Do I even have a home? Yeah. Okay. That's it for that. Just input whatever library you included there. Garden requirements. If you kind of like said kivy.garden.import, that is extra widgets designed in Kivy Garden, you can include them here. Then pre-splash file name. Cool, this is particularly awesome. If you want the let me quickly put my Android screen on my computer. Let me put my Android screen on my computer. Let me check how many seconds have I lasted here. I don't even know. I've lasted 30 minutes here, guys. I don't want my video to take long. I know Buildozer will take enough time. Okay, ADB, no, SRC, source file, right? I want to put my Android screen here and show you what I mean by pre-splash screen. So this is my phone, and up here is a web application. This is a Flask application I built with Kivy. I don't know if it's not going to show me a splash screen because it's very fast. Let me go with the current one I'm working on. Nothing store. As you can see, this icon right here, I've not given it an icon. This icon right here is the default icon Kivy gives you. This icon right here. Now let me launch this application and show you what I mean by pre-splash screen. Now when I run this application, can you see this? This here is the pre-splash screen, what it shows first before any other thing. By default, Kivy will give you its own. So after it starts start loading. So I don't know if I really need to continue loading it or something. Okay, let me close it out. There's no need to continue loading you, bro. So you understand what I mean, right? But when you know, I don't know if I have another application that have Kivy stuffs in front of it. I don't know. Okay, let's say I don't have any. Let me put that away. Then here you have to give the absolute or relative part to define it, but better still, just respect this format. Let me quickly minimize this guy view. Let me change it to normal so that I can show you guys something. Is in 5. Appearance, exit presentation, guys. I know everything seems tiny. Maybe I'm going to work with this way. Let me increase the font. Control plus plus. Increase my font. What is happening, guys? Okay, I'm going to pause this video and increase my font. Okay, guys, I changed it back to normal. I think this size should be okay. It should be okay. Okay, now I added something to our directory here. I added assets. Now when you open this image, you open this asset, you see test.jpg. What's the content? This is the content. I just want to use this as a test to what I'm doing right now. So where was I? Press plus. So I'm going to change all this. Here I'm going to say assets. This is pointing to this folder here. When you say source dice s blah blah, I don't know what that means actually, but I believe this is pointing to your current directory, the current working directory. Then assets is the folder under it. Then now say test.jpg. That's cool, right? Now I'm going to use this same pre-splash screen as the icon file name. Yeah. So we're changing. Remember, we're changing both. Where's my this thing? Yeah, we're changing the icon from what? From this guy to just normal icons like one of these here. So we're removing the Kivy icon. If you not put any icon there, Kivy will give its own icon. Let's go back to the application. All right, I will say here to our search, right, test.jpg. Now here it asks what is the orientation of your phone. Which orientation would you want? Do you want a landscape supported orientation? This option, landscape, censored landscape. When you put only landscape, which means it will only stay in one landscape. When you rotate it back to another different landscape, that is upside down landscape, it will change. It will just remain that way. It will remain upside down. But when you choose censored landscape, it is going to turn it over and make it back to normal. When you choose portrait, it means it's going to be straight, no rotating. When you choose all, it means it should do all of the above, which means portrait, landscape, whatever, anyhow you want it. I'm going with portrait. I love portraits. All right. Except you designed a landscape application, you can, or if you made your application to fit both landscape and portrait. Yeah. I'm still going to do a video on that too because people are kind of like requesting that too much. All right, full screen, you have to set this to 0. If you set it to 1, it is not going to show this menu bar up here. Now, is it menu bar, status bar? Yeah, this up is no, it's going to cover the whole of the screen as if it is a gaming application. So we're not building gaming application. We want to leave our users to see their notifications and all that. Yeah. So the pre-splash color, FFF, this is the color, what is it called? The color, blah, blah, blah. The background color of the pre-splash screen. Let me launch one of my applications here. Yeah, let me launch this. So it's starting by default. Kivy will give you black. I changed mine to white. So whatever color you want, you can look for the hex color and give it there. Or you can easily follow these options: white, gray, cyan, anything. But if you are not familiar with this, if you want to create your own color, then go ahead and use the hex color. I think I'm going to give this thing green. I want to see how green looks like. Let me go green. Then permission. This is an important part too of your application. Let's say you gave your application, you need the application to be connecting to the internet, right? You have to uncomment this and give it internet access. You want your application to access audio. Then you look for, I think, have I built, okay, I've not built this application before. When we build it, I'll show you where you can see these permissions, where they live. So for now, I don't think my application is connected to the internet, but let me just leave it for testing purpose. Then here, Android API. What is the maximum target API? Mind you, when you give anything below 21, I mean, okay, when you give anything below 21, Kivy will throw an error because Kivy doesn't support APIs below 21 anymore. If you want to do that, you use older Buildozer versions and older P4A versions. Okay, let's continue. So I'm leaving this guy to Android 30. Android 30 is the Android 11, current Android 11 API. So I think most people are using Android 9, and the number of people using Android 9 are much than Android 10. I think so. But it's good to target all the whole devices, right? From Android 5.0 up to 10.0. So just set it to 30. And mini API is 21. Leave it there by default. Also leave these guys too. Let's come to the fun parts. Android SDK version to use. Leave this guy. Android SDK version to use. Leave that guy. Android NDK API to use. Leave this guy too. Just leave it that way. I know why I'm telling you to leave it that way. So here now, from here, Android NDK directory. That is the current folder that is holding your NDK. If you don't have any NDK, please just leave it this way. Android Studio, Buildozer will download it for you and just store it somewhere. Anytime you want to use it again, it will just go straight and look for it in the directory where it downloaded it. Okay, now Android SDK. I'm not using the SDK downloaded by Buildozer. I'm using Android Studio SDK. I love it so much because it's easier for me to manipulate both in Android Studio. I have Android Studio, guys. Yeah. I would advise for you to download Android Studio. There's a reason why I'm saying that. It makes work easier for you and faster in case you want to add some things from Android Studio, want to make some changes to your app in Android Studio. I don't know if you have written codes in Java. Yeah, it should be okay. So I'm going to give an absolute path Android. That tilde sign means an absolute path. Like when I say something like this, ls or pwd is current working directory, right? Now let me change to cd. Let me go back a little bit. I'm in home. What's my current directory? Pwd. Now when I say cd tilde, it's going to take me back to Kango. Pwd. Yeah, so it's the same thing. When you say this tilde, it gives you, I don't know if that thing is called tilde, I don't know, but I'm calling it tilde. It will give you this. So let's go back here and I'll put something like SDK, right? Am I correct? Let me check. CD Android S. Okay, yeah, I'm going with this SDK, not this guy here. So I think I'm correct at that part. And part, if you already downloaded Android Studio, you can give the same directory here to this. It will locate the ant part inside it. If not, leave it there by default. It will download it for you and be looking at it next time from the directory where it downloaded it. Android skip update. I love updating my Android SDK, but in case you want to skip updating it whenever you are building your application, you can say true, right? I'm going to put mine true. accept license SDK, blah blah blah. Just leave it by default the way it is. But in case you're not very sure, you can uncomment it and say true, but I'm now uncommenting that. Let's go down to Android entry, blah blah blah. What else? Anything else, guys? No, all these ones are not important except if you're building games. I think so. But what I just changed is the only thing that you need to make your app functioning, except you code billions of Android libraries. I mean Java codes. I'm looking for this Android filter. That is for logcats, for us to know what's happening on our phone, right? Android arc equals MV. Yeah, here is very delicate and important. Now, someone asked me a question: what is the difference between x86 and Amoeba V7A M64? Okay, now look at the whole gist here. These two talks about emulators, or when you install Android on your laptop. Yeah, you can install Android on your laptop, like Bliss OS, Chromebook, and Chrome OS, Chromium. There are many. Banana, whatever is it? I've forgotten. So this would use with emulators and installed operating system down um, on your laptop or desktop. Here we're talking about X. I don't think it's x86. There's nothing like x86 on phone. This is a lower version of. You can call this an x86, and you can call this an x64. Like 32-bit, 64-bit. Just leave it that way, right? You would better understand it that way. This is the lower version of lower architecture. This is the lower architecture, just like 32-bit architecture on your Android smartphone. That is Android phones only, not emulators. This is a higher architecture, 64-bit. I don't know if it is mentioned that way, but I normally call this x86, 32-bit and 64-bit. Just know that this is higher, this is lower. When you compile applications with this, it will run on both Amoeba V7A and AM64. But when you compile applications with this, it will run on Amoeba V7A. It will only run on AM64 V8A. So by default, let's just compile with this. But when you want to push it out to Google Play Store, after compiling to this guy, you change this back and compare it to this guy too, because Android Studio accepts this too. Without this, it's not going to push your application out there. So now let's move on. What else, guys? What else? Yeah. One on roots, log level. No, I don't need this. Now let me just remove some things so that you guys will see clearly everything that I changed. Right? I'm going to put this in the source, in the description of this video. Right? This is getting long and I'm getting bored. I don't know why. I'm just getting bored, guys. I hate long videos. Let me leave this guy. I'm not dealing with IS. Remove everything here. Make sure you're not removing something you did not. Okay. Yeah, we're up to this guy. Right? But it's not much you must remove all these things I'm removing. I'm just removing it. By default, Buildozer will skip everything that is on hashtag. Right? So I'm just removing it for it to be more clear. I'm gonna move up to here and down here to this guy. Up to that guy. Up to this guy. Someone is disturbing me right now. So this is telling me right now, guys. So let me remove this guy. Remove this guy. Okay. I think I should pause this video. I'm almost done. Oh god. I'm bored right now, and I need to go somewhere now. People are calling me. Okay, now this is the only stuff you guys need here. So you can pause the video and check it. I'm still going to copy this thing. So I'm going to paste the link to this source code in GitHub and put the link on YouTube. I think we're ready to compile, right? Yeah. So you do Buildozer -v Android. -v makes it not to re-download everything that you have downloaded before. Like it goes back to pipe and start re-downloading again. It goes back and start recompiling from beginning again. No, when you put -v, it only copies your Python. If you make any changes in your Python, it will copy it and put in the private.mp3 blah 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 stuff, and we should talk about that later. Let's just compile this. Buildozer -v Android debug deploy run logcat. Logcat is for us to see what's happening, right? So yeah, cloning into Python for Android. So I'm going to pause this video when it is done, guys. You'll see me back. Okay guys, I think it's about to run. Just minimize. The application is going to start soon. Yeah, that's my terminal. So I put my Android on the screen. It's already started. Oh god. I forgot that this thing is still online. Okay. So this is my phone. Minimize this guy and launch the application again. What's the name of the application? Test. So sorry, I'm scrolling. This is the application. Let me run it. So this is the logcat. As you can see, it's green color, like welcome to Kivy. Sorry guys, there was a lot of distractions. I'm going to relaunch the app again. I'm just scroll down on my phone here and open it. So as you can see, the green background is the green color I gave it, then the stuff, the pre-splash screen, then welcome to Kivy. So this is our application, and this is how you build your application using Buildozer. Okay guys, see you next time. I'm just going to upload this video next time. I'm going to put the source code on GitHub. Right now I'm so busy, so catch you guys on my next video.